Today we're going to be combining 8 different mediums to create one painting, and I know that sounds crazy. However, artists have been using the mixed media approach for a very long time. It's a fascinating way to create a different aesthetic and to achieve a very certain look. You have used mixed media before. It's taking more than one medium and combining them in your piece of art. So if you used color pencil with graphite, congrats, you're a mixed media artist. I'm not doing the classic mixed media approach today to make a cohesive piece. I'm actually going to be taking this piece of paper and doing 8 different sections of 8 different materials. We're going to hop on over there. I'm going to show you which picture I'm going to use. I'm then going to draw the picture out, section it off into 8 different spots, and then spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, that's what we're going to be using. Okay, let's do it. That being said, I needed a picture that is interesting horizontally throughout, so that way there's something for the viewer to actually look at and there's not just like a dead spot of like sky or water or something. So basically I had to look through all of my pictures and find something that is going to be interesting in 8 different sections. And I didn't actually look through all my pictures, I looked through like a few. This is actually in Hartford, Connecticut, and it's a bridge that goes over the Connecticut River. And I think it's pretty interesting because we now have this bridge that is going to be traveling across the picture, and you'll clearly be able to see the distinct styles with the same subject. But first, let me tell you about all the materials that we're going to be using. So we have watercolor, graphite, soft pastel, acrylic, charcoal, color pencil, oil pastel, and there's a mystery one. My whole room is an absolute mess with all these materials right now. However, I'm going to section this off into 8, and it's going to require some math. So it's 14 inches long, divided by 8. Hold on. Hey Siri, what's 14 divided by 8? She's thinking.
The answer is 1.75.
All right, so 1.75. So that means I have a 1.75 sliver to do each medium. Okay, let's measure it out. The important thing whenever you're gridding out a piece of paper is you have to measure it out on both sides the same way. If not, your lines will be askew and it'll look crooked. So it's very important that if you measure the bottom, you have to measure the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm bad at math, that's why I went into art. I'm just keeping the sketch pretty loose right now. I'm trying to exaggerate some parts to make sure that every section has something going on in it, because I don't want it to be boring. So what I'm gonna do is actually kind of extend some of these leaves coming down from the trees to just fill up some little areas. And this tree is obviously the focal point, so I want this to kind of extend more than just one section. The cool thing about being an artist is that you can do whatever you want. You know, you have a reference image and you can change it. However, as you get comfortable and as you get farther along, realize what you can eliminate and add to make it a more visually interesting composition. And let's see what the first medium is going to be. Soft pastels. Let's do it. I don't have a lot of experience with the soft pastels themselves. I have used them to do a little finishing touches on some watercolor stuff, but as its own thing, I don't really have a lot of experience. Kind of none, really. I have done little things and I have used it to like add to my watercolor paintings, but other than that, we're not starting off great here, but I am going to give it my best, that's for sure. The tough thing that I've always struggled with soft pastels is just getting details. It's, you know, I don't know. I always found it tough just because they're so blocky. But then again, I've never really like worked with them, so I could be using these completely wrong and have no idea. Like this bridge right now is incredibly hard to do because it is just so tiny and these are so square. First one's done. I'm super messy and I'm gonna clean this up. We're gonna figure out what's next. Color pencil time. I have a good amount of experience with color pencil and I used to love them. I used to only do color pencil before I even did watercolor. So I'm pretty excited about this one. The only thing that sucks about color pencil is that it takes a long time to do. The hard thing about color pencil is that you can burnish it, which is basically like pressing down too hard too quick and it kind of creates that plasticky look. Which I am doing right now because I'm rushing because I don't want to spend, broke it. Because I don't want to spend too long on this one, so I'm kind of going quick. But you do want to build up those layers a lot like painting. So just layers and layers and layers of color pencil, and that's why it takes so long. Color pencils are done. Let's see what we're gonna do next. Oil pastels. Congratulations, I've never really used these. So let's figure these out together. Now these are like kids oil pastels. They're not really good, but they're kind of the same idea as any other pastel or any other painting thing, is that you want to layer and smudge them together. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I feel like it's going to be the same as the soft pastels, where it's going to be hard to get the details. And I feel like my gradients are going to be a little hard to get too. It's the next day and it's time for another section of the drawing. So let's see what we're going to do. Charcoal. Let's do it. Charcoal's a really fun medium because it can be extremely loose and quick, but also at the same time it can be incredibly rigid and precise. And I think that's the exact reason why a lot of people have a hard time with it at first. And it's incredibly messy. So it's just really easy to smudge. It gets all over the place, but it's incredibly forgiving. You can erase things very easy unless you are using like a compressed charcoal. Then it gets a little harder to do. However, charcoal's a great medium, and if you have not used it, I seriously recommend picking up some vine charcoal and a little bit of compressed charcoal and just experimenting with it and see what happens. I have a good amount of experience with charcoal. I haven't used it too much recently. However, I have been starting to pick it up again with figure drawing, but I kind of miss it. It's making me want to get back into it. The charcoal is done and it's time to see what is next. Let's hope it's something fun. Yeah, it's watercolors. I'm good, I'm happy. I swear, if you don't paint for a week, you just seem to forget everything you know. But I promise I have a lot of experience with watercolors. Go check out one of my other videos and maybe even subscribe or comment on this one. It would really help me out and I'd appreciate it. With watercolors, you want to work light to dark and you want to work in layers. What's tricky right now is that I'm using a Bristol board, so that way I can compensate for all the other mediums. It is not great for watercolor though. So it's going to look a little different from other paintings. The reason why people love watercolors is that you can be really loose and still have an incredible amount of control. However, that's still the same reason why a lot of people don't like watercolors, because it's hard for them to figure out how much water and paint to use to be able to control it exactly how they want, or to loosen up and to get what is in their head. It's definitely a medium that you need a lot of practice with, so do not get discouraged if you have not used it yet, and really just practice. It's the best advice I can give you. All right, watercolor's done. 3 more to go. Graphite. Wait, I already did that. Oh no, I drew charcoal. Okay, graphite. If you've ever doodled in your notebook at school, you've used graphite. It's just a pencil. The normal pencil you get for like tests and just to write, that's a 2B pencil. So pencils come in a variety of hardness, and that's just how hard or soft the graphite is. The fun thing about graphite is that you can be extremely, extremely precise and get an incredible amount of control with it. The frustrating thing about graphite, it takes a long time. Also, I'm gonna be a little lazy. I have a 2B pencil and a 6B pencil right next to me. I'm gonna see how well I can do without having to get up and grab another pencil. This section worked out really well for graphite because I'm gonna be able to show all the texture and the bark on the tree. Last two, let's see what it's gonna be. The mystery medium is ink. I'm going to be doing an ink wash and maybe some pens. I haven't done a wash in a very long time, but I use pens all the time. So let's see how this goes. If you've never used an ink wash before, I really suggest you do. It's a lot of fun. It's not that hard to control. If you are familiar with watercolors, you'll pick it up quite easy. India ink is a really fun way to play with contrast because of how dark the ink is, and you can just leave the white of the paper, so you can get a really great sense of lighting. I haven't used an ink wash in a really long time now that I'm thinking about it, but I do really love to use ink pens because I'm a big fan of illustration and cartoons, so I think it's a fun look to get. The last one is acrylic, so let's do it. People seem to really hate acrylic paint, and to be fair, it is really difficult. It dries insanely fast, and blending can be really tough because of that. But they create very beautiful colors, and you can block in so much so quickly, and they're very easy to manage. Unlike oils, it's not really hard to clean up. You don't really have a whole process to it, and they're a lot more user-friendly than like a watercolor. I used to teach those paint night classes, and I would get a wide range of people coming in. So 4-year-olds to 84-year-olds. And most of those people never thought of themselves as an artist. But with a few basic techniques, acrylic paint can be extremely accessible, and the most unartistic person can leave and create something relatively easy. I think acrylic paint can be extremely tricky, but it's also incredibly easy for almost anyone to pick it up and do something with it. And at the end of the day, the more people making art, the better. It is done. 7 different mediums, 1 painting. Wait, hold on. 8 different mediums, 1 painting. And it's so cool to see how each medium behaves differently, but I think it's pretty consistent throughout. From my point of view right now, I think if I turned it into black and white, my values would be relatively the same, which I applaud myself for. I think that's a really strong artistic trait to have. Value is probably the most important thing, even above color. Being able to control the mediums actually impressed me too. I didn't think I would be able to do the ink wash as well as I did, or the oil pastels, but they came out really nice. This was also really fun for me because every section represented a different point in time of my own art career, and it was making me reflect, and it was being a little nostalgic, and I was thinking of how far I've really grown as an artist, and I'm really proud of myself. If you are proud of me, you should like, subscribe, or comment, because I make some pretty cool art videos and I think I'm pretty slept on. So, in the meantime, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna keep making art. I'll see you later. I have so much to clean up, this is gonna take forever.